What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new League of Legends video. Now today I want to talk about why League of Legends is dying. But first of all, I just want to say I'm sorry it's been a while since I last posted, but I'm going to make sure to be posting on a more regular basis, and I'm hoping to get you 2 videos a week. So every Tuesday, every Friday, I'm hoping to put out League of Legends videos, because I am going to be working on another project on the side. And if you want to find out more about that, then do message me and I'll let you know. But today I want to talk about why League of Legends is dying, or why the game's kind of failing to bring in new players and failing to keep its current audience of players. Now, I've spoken to a few of you, and I've spoken to a lot of people that I know that play the game, and also myself who plays the game, and looking for different reasons why people think that it's dying, or different reasons why people think it's struggling, or what is making it not do as well as it could do. So I'm going to jump straight into this one with the first major point that I've come across. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the issue with a constant evolving game. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's basically the issue with constantly updating a long-term game. So there's a lot of games out there which are just one single game that has existed for 10-15 years more. So you've got CSGO, you've got Dota, StarCraft, League of Legends, and then there's like a few others like Overwatch and stuff like that. But the difference between a lot of them and say League of Legends is because they update very rarely. So the original StarCraft, so not StarCraft 2, the original StarCraft was the competitive game and the leading StarCraft game for around 13-14 years, and had 4 updates in those 14 years. Now, I know recently Dota has started to decide to do weekly, like sort of fortnightly patches like League of Legends, rather than doing like very rare patches. So we'll see how that impacts them. But at the same time, a game like Counter-Strike, they only update sort of every 5-6 months. They don't update very regular, and the new StarCraft as well doesn't update very regular either. And the games that do update on a regular basis, it's very minor changes. There's nothing like groundbreaking, there's nothing meta changing. It's sort of like you're waiting for these big patches to be meta changing. Now, the biggest issue is because as a community in League of Legends, we sit there and we tell people to kind of main champions. Pick a champion pool, main a few champions and become really good in those champions. Or like there's a lot of one tricks out there that will focus on playing one champion only forevermore. And the issue is, if you're playing one champion forever and then a patch comes out and it's like, okay, well, do you know that champion that you've loved forever? We've now completely reworked it. The champion's completely changed, or we've updated it so they're completely different now, or their matchups are going to be really different now because we've decided to buff so-and-so, or we've made this item better, or we've made this item worse, which is crucial in your build. Now, if you've sat there and you've invested months and months and months, or years of your time into a single champion or a champion pool, and they decide to take away one of the most crucial items in your champion pool or for your champion, or they completely rework your champion, it's massively demotivating, and it puts a lot of people off playing the game because of the fact that there's been so many people, and I've got examples as well that I'll bring up in soon. There's been so many people where they've sat there and played and mained a champion for so long, and then after a few years Riot turn around and they're just like, right, we're going to completely rework it, here's the new champion, and they don't like it. They've spent so long mastering this one version of the champion and getting as high as they did, and then they've just had their champion just taken apart in a split second, and there's nothing they can do about it, and all that time they've invested into this champion is now gone. So the few examples I've got are, first of all, this one, which is a very recent one, where someone's clearly slightly annoyed at the fact that Riot has nerfed Tahm Kench in this last patch gone. I have had to blank out quite a lot of it because a lot of it was very offensive and very kind of, I couldn't put it online. But you can see the Riot Games support response as well, where they're just a bit like, we don't care, joking along, and they're not taking it seriously. And there's a lot of people where they'll invest this time into these champions. So this guy main Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench was nerfed pretty hard. Renekton was given the shield breaker, so he's now a massive counter. and also he's just no longer anywhere near as strong. So if you put months and months and months or years into that champion and it gets destroyed like it has been, then that time's wasted, and you now basically either have to relearn your champion in its new way or completely learn a brand new champion. So it's just really demotivating when you have your champion nerfed, and it just makes you not want to even play the game anymore. And that's happening with a lot of people, like with all these patches all the time, because we have patches every 2 weeks. It's happening non-stop. Now, the reason I picked this tweet out is because of a massive thing that stands out in it for me. Now, originally the main tweet is just complaining about the current patch, and everybody complains about new patches because they don't like the stuff that's going on or something they like's been changed. But it's the response that made me concerned when I saw this one, where it's a player that's only played the game for 5 months, or like for a short amount of time compared to the majority of people that play the game, and already with just the patches within that time frame, they're already being put off playing the game as much as they used to. They used to play it 12 hours a day, and I'm not saying that's a healthy amount. I'd probably say cut it down a little bit anyway, but they've already cut that down to 1 game a day, if that, just because of the patches within a 5-month spell. Now you imagine you play this game for like 9 years, all the patch changes that you've had to deal with, and you're currently going to be at that point where you just cannot be arsed with the game, and you cannot be arsed with all the changes Riot make. Now, when I was writing what I wanted to talk about in this video, I was thinking a lot about what games are doing quite well right now, why is League struggling compared to those ones and stuff like that, and the first thing I thought of, as I'm sure a lot of you will, for a game that's doing extremely well right now, is Fortnite, and how fast Fortnite's grown to the size that it has. And now, a lot of people may say, oh yeah, but it's a fun battle royale game, it's this, it's that, but honestly, I believe there's a massive difference between League and Fortnite right now, and it's not that one's a MOBA and one's a shooter or anything like that, it's streamers. Now, when you look at Fortnite, all your biggest players on Fortnite, so like Tfue, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, like all people like this are streaming non-stop. They're streaming multiple hours a day, bringing more and more people to the game and getting more and more people excited about the game because they're seeing their favourite players play. Now, if you think about League of Legends streamers, we have people like Skara, like PewDiePie, like Tyler1, like people who are streamers for a living. But you don't see pros streaming anywhere near as much as they do on games like Fortnite or CSGO or Apex Legends, or I'm just trying to think, there's so many games where the pros are streaming non-stop, but when it comes to League of Legends, they're just not. And it's not a case of, oh, it's all the pros' fault, like why they're not streaming, they need to be streaming to bring more people in, to keep people at the game. That is not the reason why they're not streaming. The reason they cannot stream and they're not streaming is because of the fact that they can't. Now, I worked in the pro scene, if you don't know much about me, and I worked there for a long time, and honestly, you cannot stream. Like, you can when you get like a tiny bit of spare time, but right now in the professional scene you're expected to scrim around 12 hours a day. So you get up, you scrim, you eat, you scrim, you sleep. If you get a bit of time after you scrimmed, or someone cancels a scrim, something like that, then you can stream. But usually you don't get the time, and the reason that teams on League of Legends scrim so much more than any teams on other games is because we have patches every 2 weeks. So this basically means that pros are constantly having to practice and play against other teams and constantly get new things down because the game is constantly updating and constantly changing, and they need to be on top of all of these changes at all times, because if they're not, they won't win these tournaments, they won't do well. So they're left in a position now where it's like, well, I can't stream for people to watch me, but I'm going to do well at this tournament because I'm putting as much time and effort as I can into that. And yes, they're doing well at the tournaments, but we're not bringing new players in, we're not attracting people to the game, we're not keeping players in the game, because we're losing all our favourite players that we love watching all the time because they cannot do it. Yes, they scrim all the time, but they can scream in off-season. So we do get a lot of it in off-season, but usually in off-season, it's like end of season, so there's not like all of the kind of stuff you can learn from them and that are not very useful, and by the time that the new season patch comes out, they're back scrimming again. And you just can never ever like kind of stop and just learn off of them, because then they don't have the time to kind of stream for people to see. And honestly, I think it's such a big issue compared to other games, because every other game allows their pro players to stream all the time. Because if you want to watch a stream, you want to watch your favourite player stream. So if you love Team Liquid, you want to watch Double Lift stream. If you love TSM, you want to watch Bjorkson stream. If you generally love just pro play and you want to see the best, you want to see like Faker or Bang or Uzi stream, someone like that. And no one ever gets the time because they're just practicing non-stop. So honestly, I think the amount of patches and how regular they are really needs to cut down, not just because it's ruining people's champions and ruining what they want to play, but also because it's ruining how much the professionals on this game can connect with the average player. And it's ruining how much the average player enjoys the game, because they can't connect with their favourite players, and also they can't even enjoy their champion pools because it's constantly just being changed, constantly just everything's changing non-stop, and they just can't ever settle down on something, and it's just going to annoy people, it's just going to piss people off, and you can only take so much of that before you finally end up just quitting the game entirely. Now, I know this video has been a lot more ranty than my usual kind of video, but I needed to get this stuff out. I needed to basically make it known as to why I think, and also a lot of the other people I play with, and a few of you think as well, regarding why League of Legends is beginning to really suffer. Now, I have two last final points. One was a question I got from someone, and another one is just a point I want to make. My first big point was TFT. Now, I know TFT, basically everyone's thinking, well, TFT's bringing loads of people back to the game. Yes, TFT has brought a lot of old players back. Old players that weren't playing as much are now playing more because TFT exists. But they're not bringing people to League of Legends. They're bringing people to TFT. If you look at Dota Underlords is a separate game. And if you look at TFT, there has been talk about going on a separate client. Now, if it does that, I could see League of Legends seeing a massive drop in its logins, because there's a lot of people playing TFT rather than proper League of Legends right now. And TFT may be a nail in the coffin for League of Legends, but we will wait and see. But honestly, I think it's a great game. I think it's a great game mode. I think they could do really well with it, but I could see them really suffer too. And just before I end it, my last thing is, I was asked by someone whilst I was making this, like, do I play League of Legends as much anymore? And my answer is, no, I don't. I play League of Legends, but I don't play it anywhere near as much as I used to. I used to play it like 16 hours a day, if not more. And when I was coaching, I used to work on the game like 20 hours a day, if not more. And I nowhere near play that anymore. And my reason is, it's along these lines. The biggest thing that changed in the game for me, that made me no longer really want to play it, was the Graves rework. So I used to love playing Graves ADC, but when Graves got reworked and now he's a jungler, I still play him, but like Graves was a big change for me that made me not really enjoy the game nearly as much as what I currently used to. But yeah, so that is my opinion on why this game is dying. If you have any other points that I've missed, so I don't know, like certain things have changed maybe, I don't know. If you've got any other things that I've missed completely that I just can't even think of right now, then do comment down below. Let me know what they are. And if it is something big that I've missed, I'll probably do another video on it or something like that. But if not, then I just want to have a discussion with you guys in the comments just to find out, like, do you still play the game? Do you still love it? Are you enjoying it? Or are you beginning to hate it because of all these changes that they're doing? So let me know, and thank you all for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, then please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to love your comments and reply to all of them. I'm going to make a little password for this one, and it's going to be Renekton. So if you comment Renekton, I know you've made it all the way to the end, and I love you for doing that. Thanks a lot for watching. Please do subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and like I say, there should hopefully be another video coming next Tuesday and then again on Friday. Thanks a lot for watching again. See you guys next time.